How the hell did the Falcons not get a first-round pick in exchange for Julio Jones, who just got traded to the Tennessee Titans? We are about to dive into this blockbuster trade on today's episode of the Don Mafia Report. Yo ho ho, Don Mafia. Welcome to yet another edition of the Don Mafia Report. And hey, let me tell you guys what. This was the first trade that occurred of all of the drama that's been going on in the entire NFL, where particular players are essentially demanding that they want to be on a different team. Julio Jones just so happened to be the first domino to fall, if you will. Dude man ended up being traded to the Tennessee Titans, getting his wish and being on another team. We're going to go ahead and dive into this today, sort of talk about financials. We're going to talk about what that means for the Titans, what that means for the Falcons. And it's going to be a pretty interesting topic. I'm really excited to see what Julio Jones can do with a new team. Before we dive into it, though, I do want to just give a couple of announcements. Number one, I am giving away either a PS5 or an Xbox Series X on July 2nd. In order to enter, it's super easy. You need to be a subscriber to this YouTube channel. You need to screenshot proof of that and send that screenshot over to me via Instagram DMs, and voila, you have a chance of winning a next-gen console. Might as well follow me on Instagram as well, because that's where I will be exclusively announcing the winner. Number two, I just ended up starting a Discord server. It is probably one of the coolest NFL chat rooms I have ever been involved in. There's so many different NFL fans, Buffalo Bills fans, every other team you can imagine. You can trash talk. You can go ahead and just keep up with several NFL updates, news, etc. I highly recommend that you check it out. That link is in my description. And without further ado, Don Mafia, let's go ahead and dive into this trade. And yeah, Don Mafia, today I was actually out to lunch with a couple of buddies when I ended up seeing the news break on ESPN that Julio Jones was traded over to the Tennessee Titans. Now, as a Buffalo Bills fan, let me just say I am absolutely pumped that that dude is as far away from the AFC East as possible. Frankly, I would have preferred him to be in the NFC, but at the end of the day, I do agree with the Titans. You want to make sure that Julio Jones cannot hurt you directly, because let's be honest, the Falcons are clearly in a rebuild process at this point. But as far as the deal was concerned, it looks like the Titans sent a 2022 second-round pick and a 2023 fourth-round pick to the Falcons, in addition to a 2023 sixth-round pick. Now, like a lot of you, I was completely surprised that the Falcons didn't manage to get a first-round pick for Julio Jones. But then once you start dissecting it, it sort of makes sense, right? I mean, dude man's about 32 years old. Who knows when his regression is going to start? He is prone to injury. So at the end of the day, I feel like the second round pick was probably the best thing that he possibly could have received. A lot of teams are probably kicking themselves in the ass, being like, yo, I had no idea that we could have got Julio Jones, an elite receiver on our team, for a second, fourth, and sixth round pick throughout the next 3 consecutive years. But the Titans just so happened to be the team that ended up coming out on top within that situation. Now, there was rumors flying around where Julio was going to show up. There was rumors for a while that he wanted to go and play for the New England Patriots with Cam Newton. I really didn't believe that. I thought it was just a fluff piece at the end of the day. But the most recent rumor was the one that ended up becoming true, and now he is on the Titans. I can guarantee you that A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry are absolutely pumped about the situation, especially since they took recruitment into their own hands with that TikTok video that A.J. Brown ended up posting just a couple of weeks ago. Julio Jones is now a Titan. Now, this is going to be interesting when it comes down into compensation, right? The Falcons, while they ended up losing their number one receiver, the way that I look at it is this. They do not need to pay Julio a dime. The Titans are taking on Julio's entire contract. This year, he is due $15.3 million guaranteed. Now, when it comes to the Titans, they're going to have to do some restructuring. They're going to have to go on ahead, and they're going to have to really sit down with their front office and figure out what they need to do with contracts of Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill, who just ended up signing massive deals only about a year ago. What the hell are they going to do? They're going to have to figure something out when it comes to the financials. But with Julio Jones, I would probably do whatever I can. Now, as far as compensation, it's interesting to me because when you look at the Titans, I would say that they are a playoff contending team for sure. I would say that they are, I'd say, favorites to win the AFC South. I ended up dropping a video of the AFC South power rankings just a little bit ago, and I did say that the Colts were a shoo-in for the AFC South, but now that Julio Jones is on this team, I'm sort of conflicted at this point. As far as betting odds are concerned, Vegas is having it a dead tie for odds of winning the AFC South between the Colts and the Tennessee Titans with this new addition of Jones. So we're going to have to see how this all sort of plays out. So like I said, so the Titans ended up sending over a second-round pick. Really, when it comes down to it, the Titans are almost for sure going to make the playoffs. And how valuable is a late second-round pick going to be for the Atlanta Falcons? And don't get me wrong, with the Falcons, they did just draft Kyle Pitts, who is going to be absolutely an animal. And then they still have Calvin Ridley, who is going to be moving over into that number 1 role. As far as the Titans, they are adding a lot more to their offense, and this may be a pretty fun football team to watch in 2021. I'm not going to lie to you. If their defense can get their shit together, I think that this team might be something to be reckoned with. So do keep in mind that this deal is pending a physical. There's no doubt in my mind that he's going to pass it, and he's going to be donning a Titans uniform in 2021. But we shall see how everything plays out. Don Mafia, do me a favor, leave a comment. What do you think about this entire situation? Really want to hear your thoughts on this. I will see you tomorrow. And before I let you go, always remember, let's go Buffalo.